Alright, we are back with the diluted EPS calculation, and what we're going to do on this one is the treasury stock method. So in this problem, we're going to have the 8% and 9% bonds, and then we're just going to add the using the treasury stock method for some warrants. Okay, so it's the same problem that you've seen before: 200,000 shares outstanding, repurchase 15,000, blah blah blah, net income 1.2 million. Dividend adjustment is going to be 300,000 again. They issued a 9% bond on August 1st. The 8% bond was outstanding at the beginning of the year. Now, here's the new part right here. Average number of shares related to options outstanding during the year was 30,000 and a strike price of 12. The average price during the year was 18. That's what's new. Okay? So, 8% bond, 9% bond. This is the same as before. This is the same as before. Treasury stock options. So let me go back up here. We concluded dilutive because $1.20 and $1.08 was less than basic. So this $1.41 is basic EPS. Okay. If the per share effect had been over $1.41, we would have said anti-dilutive and excluded it. Now, what's the test for stock options? If the strike price is less than the average market price, then it's dilutive. So here we were told the strike price is 20, average market price was 18, so we conclude dilutive. That means we're going to include it. Now, if it's a warrant, the numerator effect is always 0. All right. The denominator effect is going to be under the treasury stock method. We're going to act as if we issued all the shares, 30,000, and with the money we got, we bought back as many shares as possible, which I'm representing as 12/18. But another way to think about it is, okay, if you have 30,000 exercise at a strike price of 12, you get 360,000 in cash. Okay. And at the current market price of 18, how many shares can you buy back? You could have bought back 20, which results in net 10,000. So that the reason it's called the treasury stock method is the assumption is that you would take all the cash you got and buy back as much of your own stock as possible with those proceeds. Okay? There's a little easier way to do it, which is a variation on this first one. You take 18 minus 12 all over 18 times the number of options, and that will equal 10,000. So you have 0 over 10,000. The per share effect is always 0. Alright, so all we're going to do is add $10,000 to the denominator. So let me write this out for you in an over-under so it's a little easier to see again. So here's basic. We always start with that. Then we have our first dilutive security, which was 48,000, and it was over 40,000. Then our second dilutive security, which was 13,500 over 12,500. And our last one, you just add in the denominator. You put it all together, you get $1.37 as your diluted EPS. Okay, so you've seen the F converted method, you've seen the treasury stock method. Those are the two methods for calculating diluted EPS. We're not going to deal with other aspects of transactions such as contingent issue price, but we are going to go to the textbook example and look at ranking. Okay. Um, this last example, we're actually going to, let's see, we have a convertible preferred stock. I'm just going to mention, I'm not going to go through this one. The 8-9% bonds and the warrants are all the same. You will have a per share effect, and in this case it was anti-dilutive. But I do just want to point out that for the numerator, you're not going to adjust for a tax effect. Okay? So there were whatever was in the EPS calculation, you would add it back here. So we had 300,000 over 35,000, 857, which is a lot greater than the $1.41, which tells you that these preferred stockholders have no interest in converting at this point because the preferred stock is doing way better. Yeah, so for preferred stock, just remember you don't have to do the tax adjustment. All right, the last part we're going to do, it's actually in your textbook. So for the next video, you want to get your textbook. It's in the appendix, and it's called Anti-Dilution Revisited.